and thank you everyone for having me today. So I would like to go over the automated discovery of SEO low-hanging fruit with all of you. To do this, we'll be using Google Search Console, Looker Studio, and an AI content framework that I created. And I'm really excited to go over this because I really think this is one of the simplest, most repeatable SEO processes that you can implement. Anyone on this call or anyone that would see this presentation in the future would really be able to implement this and really kind of change the way they think and do SEO. So as Garrett said, my name is Mike Ginley. I'm a digital strategy lead at Centerwell, a part of Humana. I am focused on SEO, analytics, and digital marketing, and I've been in the field for about 10 years. So what is low-hanging fruit in SEO? These are pages that are consistently getting impressions, ranking for lots of queries, might just be a little bit older or were once published and just kind of forgotten about. Ultimately, it is content that is not getting clicks. It can be both articles, site pages, whatever it may be. The beauty of these are quick wins with very minimal effort. So these are known assets, not guesses, meaning that Google has already indexed them. They're already ranking them highly enough to get impressions, but they're not getting the clicks or interaction that you want. You have the data to back up these updates from Google Search Console, from Bing Webmaster Tool. And the beauty of this, that we'll be bringing in some other analytics sources that can, kind of beef this up even more. And then there was a recent study by Conductor that was saying that websites that neglect to optimize aging content could lose up to 20% of their organic traffic each year. So that's really kind of the overarching theme of all of this, that if we kind of neglect or forget about some of our old content, we're leaving money on the table. We're losing this content. So the juicy takeaway here, keeping on the fruit theme, is low-hanging fruit is not new content. It's unrealized potential. So for anyone familiar with Fruit Strike gum, up here in the top right, this was an old gum that I recently just figured out was actually discontinued a couple years ago, but it was known for its intense flavor. It was delicious, but the flavor was gone within 10 to 20 seconds. That's kind of a theme we've been seeing lately with large language models and AI, is that content has been losing its relevance fast. You can still rank in the traditional SERPs, but ultimately you may get skipped in the AI summaries over time as new content emerges, facts, information is updated. SE Ranking recently published their findings that updated content within the past 3 months averages 6 citations versus 3.6 for outdated pages. So very similar to the Fruit Strike gum, you might, burn bright, but burn fast. So the large language models are really interested in the updated stats and perspectives, clear positioning, and the current intent alignment. That's very difficult to do if you're leaving content just to, rot in your website for years at a time. So if your content isn't updated, it's very possible AI might forget it. So this process really does solve problems that we're all probably dealing with. Where do we start analysis paralysis, or constantly auditing your site but not really knowing which one to start with first, or just refreshing content based on time of year, feelings, vibes, anything like that. Or one that I deal with a ton that is a really tough pill to swallow, we already published that, or we already invested in that. A lot of, stakeholders, business owners, whatever it may be, don't like to hear that, oh, we need to redo this. I don't want people thinking of this process as we screwed up. It's we are investing again in what we had once done based on information we have now. So instead of, just haphazardly going through these problems, this process will get you a repeatable scoring system that you can customize in any way you want. It will clearly source candidates ripe for refreshing. And this is all focused and data backed. This isn't AI messing with your data, even though it says automated. This is not like that analytics subreddit chaos that was happening last week where they had some bot just completely making up data. This is all your data that we're going to be turning in from opinion into operations. So this is really ideal for any SEO and content teams managing at scale, especially ones in complex fields like healthcare, your money, your life, or any in-house marketing agencies or specialists that have a lot of legacy content needing big wins fast. This might not be as ideal for brand new sites with little data or one-page microsites. So really, the more content you have, the more powerful this becomes. So diving in, what you would get from this in New York is the 4 phases, the foundation of setting up your bulk export in Google Search Console, connecting it in Google Looker Studio, and how to define those thresholds so that you automate sourcing these pages that aren't meeting the metrics that you want it to. How it quickly flags these pages for you so that you can then go into a different chart just below it and drill into these query sets. And I'll show you all of this here with a little preview. From there, when you have this data that has just been handed to you on a silver platter very quickly, you can then dive into what we all do, the SEO work of refreshing the content, improving the SERP alignment, strengthening the internal and external links. And then after that, like we all do, we got to measure, we got to track, is this improving? Did this do anything? And the process to repeat this. So really the takeaway here is you don't need a bigger budget, a bigger tool. You don't need funding, because besides the tiny amount that BigQuery would cost you, you just need to read the data you already have. You need to find a process for something to do about it. So ultimately, this isn't a hack. This is a new way of thinking, a new way of working for you. So the setup is setting up the bulk export in BigQuery, connecting it to Looker Studio. The reason why bulk export is preferred is there's no sampling. You get more history, a lot more queries. It's automatable, and you can combine it from multiple sources. And then putting that into Looker Studio, you can make that look and feel any way you want to. So I know this looks ugly, scary for some that aren't familiar with BigQuery, but it's very simple once you kind of get the hang of it. Large language models, ChatGPT, Claude, any of these are super handy at helping you with SQL or any code you may need to do this. But this is really combining my URL impression table from Search Console with a crawl from Screaming Frog, where then it gets you a nice table like this that is flagging any content that has a high amount of queries, over 750, a low click-through rate under 0.1%, content that's older than two years old. And if all three of those are met, it highlights the URL as yellow so that I know this one is prime for refreshing because it meets all those guidelines that I put. And from there, we found the fruit. Now we need to squeeze it. So these are the pages with high impressions, high queries, but not getting the clicks we want. It's old. So I will take all that information and start to look into where am I missing out on the title or any of the other meta information? What about the content gaps? What's ranking right now in the SERPs for these tools? Do I need to refresh it with any updated stats, examples, proof? Refreshing isn't admitting failure. It's responding to change, new competition, new information. Finding these pages really are just one decision away from traffic. And that optimization over time can really compound a lot faster than always creating net new, like many of us are probably familiar with. So when you find these pages that you need to do, you just scroll down and you see all these queries. There's over 3,000 here that I could look to optimize for. Real data, real things that people are searching that I might be missing out on based on the first pass I had at this content. From there, what more you'll get is, again, another template. I do a lot of templates, a lot of processes that you would be able to take all these queries, throw them into the keywords and topics tool, fill out this entire content template, put it into Notebook LM to pretty up for you and pulls information from more data sources, gives you something great to give to a human content writer to create you something truly valuable for your website. So ultimately, when this is done, we want to track the click-through rate changes, how many more queries are coming in, did the average position move? Just recently, we got Bing Webmaster Tools showing us AI citations in Copilot. We want to figure out a process to do this monthly, quarterly, and continuously iterating on it. And another added bonus from all this information is you're seeing real data about how your content is performing. Are you utilizing that to inform your email and social team? Are you going after internal links about these keywords as well and kind of boosting those and seeing that? So really the juicy takeaway here is content only wins if it's seen. If it's just, below where people are typically clicking, it's not going to win for you. So why this really scales and why I think anyone can do this is because it's so lightweight and repeatable. You can automate it. It's tool agnostic because you can bring in, like I said, Screaming Frog, Google Analytics, Bing, anything that you can put into a CSV or connect with an API. This is real performance data, fits naturally into the content workflows, and can perform very well when paired with AI. And to kind of bring this home, this is an exact example of one that we just did, that we started about in October. 54 days before we optimized it, full refresh, URL, everything, had roughly 7,000 impressions, 69 clicks, less than 1%. 54 days later, after the refresh, based on all the information we were given, doubled the impressions, tripled the clicks, doubled the click-through rate. So really just to show your next win is already in your Google Search Console account. You just need to be able to find it. Thanks.